everyone, and welcome to our channel. This is Link Our Television. My name is Faith Martins. On today's show, we are going to be discussing a topic that could either mar, make, or even shape our society. I'm talking about the relationship world in general. Now, we have a guest in the studio today, someone who is a professional, someone who will be discussing this topic with us. But before we go ahead and introduce our guest, let me let you know that it is time for you to click on the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and make sure you like our video so that as soon as we drop it, you get to see it first. Now, let us go ahead and introduce our guest. Today in the studio, we have no other person than Aniebonam Chinyere Lynda. She's a trained therapist, a mental health advocate, passionate about individuals and couples and how they navigate emotional and psychological challenges. She's the founder and CEO of Health Planet Psychotherapy Limited, a fast-growing mental health organization in Nigeria, and also leads Health Planet Foundation, a nonprofit focused on awareness, support, and healing for trauma, addiction, and emotional well-being. Hello, our amazing beauty. First of all, when you walked into the studio, we were like, I wish my brother wasn't married, you know. You're welcome
Thank you
to Link
so
Our
much.
Television. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
Fine, thank you very much. So I've always wondered, as a therapist, how are you able to take in so much? Your job requires a lot of energy. I'm talking about emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
How do you take in so much and still, know how to navigate it?
Oh, actually, we are trained to do this, but first of all, is the passion behind it. So there is something called emotional intelligence. It's your ability to assess your own emotion and know how to navigate them. So if you're emotionally aware of yourself, it can help you to do anything and even to control other people's emotion. So you can take as much as possible with anyone and you can even help them because now you know how to manage your own emotions.
Doesn't it get overwhelming? Because I mean, that's lots of energy.
Truthfully, sometimes it gets overwhelming, but because you can manage and know how to know the emotion you are feeling and how to manage yours, there is nothing that you can get over with. Exactly.
Okay, you heard her. So it's not an easy job. I can tell you that for free. Yeah. But then again, I feel like therapy is something that we've not really come to terms with in Nigeria. We're still on that journey. Yeah. So I think before we even get into our conversation, we need to have that conversation about therapy. What do you have to say about, how deep Nigerians have, sort of held on to mental health advocacy and mental health treatments?
I would say that Nigeria is not fully aware about therapy. I've had some people call me and they first of all start with asking questions about how can this help me? Are you sure I'm going to get better after these therapy sessions? And what are the things I'm expecting? So we are working on creating the awareness. That is through our NGO. We are working on first creating the awareness, telling people about psychotherapy, counseling. We are visiting a professional and how all of this can actually help you heal, both in your marriage or individuals, or even as a student, or you as a parent, your kids. So we are still trying to create as much awareness as we can to let people know how therapy can actually help them. But a lot of people are still not aware about it. So we are working on it actually.
Okay, does that sort of place like a limitation on your job? The little awareness people have to it. Let me explain. Let me break that question down. So, it's easier for a doctor, for instance, to have, access to all the information they need to also treat their patients and treat their patients right? But then again, in your case, as a mental health advocate and a therapist, it's a little bit hard, if I do say so. I don't know. I'm just asking. It's a little bit hard because you don't have the trust of your clients, especially here in Nigeria, right? Most of them come with questions in their head. They are not fully committed to whatever journey you're about to take them on. Does it put a strain on your job?
Yeah, it actually does. Personally for me, that's why when any client comes into my office, first thing I do, no matter what you're going through, is to first there is something called psychoeducation to educate you on this particular thing that you are passing through. Some people do not know what it is. Some people come and tell me, oh, I'm having panic attack, I'm having difficulty breathing, some signs, some symptoms. But when you tell them this is called anxiety, they will get to psychoeducate them on what anxiety is, the causes, the effects, and the signs and symptoms you are expecting. So the person gets to understand what they are passing through. Even some professionals do not know about the therapy and how this can help them. Many people do not know about it. So when they come, I personally start with psychoeducation, teaching you what this thing is all about. And from there, you will see the patient more relaxed and more welcoming of the events that is to come. Exactly.
Which is really beautiful. Well. I think that's a wonderful one. Is that like something you do personally on your own?
I do it personally. For me, I do it personally. I know where I am, so I know that people do not know much about this. So when someone comes and say, oh, I think I need to talk to a therapist, that is a very, like, I even apprehend them for coming first of all looking for a therapist. And now when you come, you might not know what you are passing through. Now it's my job to teach you what this thing is and tell you that it's not a disease, it's not an illness, and it's not something that you go to the society, and it's not HIV disease, so you don't need to be stigmatized. So just feel free, this is just normal, let's walk you through it. So I personally do that.
Amazing. Well, you guys do a wonderful job. I have to give it to you for free. You do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
All right, so today's conversation, we're going to be focusing on traumas, and not just any type of trauma. We're going to be focusing on a type of trauma that can either make or mar an individual. Some of us get to meet people, we meet adults, and then we look at them and you're like, why are you behaving like this? Why are you acting this way? Without asking the necessary questions that ought to be asked. Traumas, childhood traumas. That is the question that we are, or rather the topic that we're going to be delving into. We're going to be literally romanticizing with lots of questions, lots of things, futures that would give us in-depth understanding on childhood traumas. People go through a lot.
Exactly.
And it is so heartbreaking to know that some of the things that they went through as children has a way of coming to affect them as adults. Right? And most of them go through all of this without understanding the importance of, therapy sessions and how they could deal with it. So how do childhood trauma affect mental health generally? What is childhood trauma and how does it even affect mental health?
Okay, let's start by I will use an example to explain this to you. We have different childhood traumas, and childhood traumas are just experiences you had while growing up, living experiences, or maybe with your parents or with your guardian, or not just them, anyone around you. Those experiences you had while growing up, they have effects on you. So as a teenager growing up, you are picking things not just from your parents, from genetically, you are picking things from your environment, you are picking attitude from people around you. So when you now grow up, it now forms your personality. So when someone, my 30 years old or 25 years old comes to meet me and they start talking, I like to go on with psychoanalysis. It means like going back to the past of that person to discuss where is this coming from, and where did you get this mindset from. It's not everyone that you can't just go up and pick up an attitude, or maybe you start being afraid of people, or you can't trust people, or you hate men. This attitude are picked up from somewhere. Where did you see it? How is it affecting? What did you know? What happened to you? So these are childhood traumas, and it has different ways of affecting individuals depending on how you interpret it yourself and what you believe. It forms your belief. So if you let's assume that a child that was raped while she was growing up, when they now get into a relationship, if possibly they get into a relationship because they are mostly unavailable emotionally, and they're afraid of men. What can this person do to me? Or they are also afraid of intimacy. I don't know if this is going to go well with me. I feel afraid. I don't know if I can enjoy sex. Sex is beautiful in a marriage. So when they come meet you with this kind of complaint, you tend to go by these kind of persons. They have already picked up a belief from what happened to them, that sex can be rough, that sex cannot be enjoyed, that men are here to deceive or to take away something from me.